In previous videos, I've gone over recruiting in various levels of detail. I've gone over, how to evaluate resumes, how to evaluate the people, what you should and shouldn't do. And I thought I would do a follow-up to that where I talk a little bit more about the actual process of bringing a salesperson into your business. Really, it's applicable to anybody because it doesn't matter if you're bringing a salesperson into your business or if you're bringing in a janitor for that matter. Your business has its own way of operations, and this is from day one. This is not something that applies only when you're a big business. Every single business is, to some degree or another, unique. You're unique. The systems you'll implement are unique. The processes you want followed are unique. When you bring a salesperson on, or you bring on anybody for that matter, you need to understand that this person doesn't know anything about how you operate. You could bring somebody on that's the best salesperson in the world, but if you don't bother to properly onboard them, everything's going to wash, right? Because they're not going to be able to function. And a huge mistake that I have seen so many businesses make through the years has been they bring somebody on, they put an ad up for a salesperson. Someone responds to the ad. They go ahead and they bring this person on. They say, yeah, you're hired. They talk to them on the phone. They read the resume, whatever. They bring them on, and then they rush them through onboarding in a 1-hour period of time, right? For a whole bunch of systems that they've implemented that are very complex, like CRM systems and, all kinds of different marketing tools, all kinds of different data sources. And they throw a whole bunch of expectations at this person, and the person's sitting there bewildered. They have no idea what to do. Next day rolls around, the person comes to him and says, hey, I don't know how to do this. Person gets angry. The person who just hired him, right, gets angry, says, hey, I just went over all this with you yesterday. Are you stupid? Right? Salesperson's like, no, but you went at a mile a minute. I don't remember all that. Next day rolls around. Same thing. And what's the mistake here, right? The situation is that you have a person that is not properly onboarded. The mistake here is you've onboarded this person in a hands-on way all at one shot, all in one day. If you're smart, what you really want to do when you onboard people is not onboard them all in one shot and in one day, but tell them, okay, your first couple of weeks here are going to be your onboarding period, right? Go at your own pace. I'm here to answer your questions, and here are the resources that I have at your disposal to educate yourself. And what resources should you have created? Well, you can go and you can create a really simple FAQ. It can be as simple as a Word document that explains the questions that they're going to have, clearly spells out the commission structure, clearly spells out their job function, spells out, how to use the CRM, whatever, just the basics spelled out in plain English right there inside of a document. Could be as simple as that. But if you really want to go the extra mile and make sure your salespeople are successful, create videos. You can record your onboarding session with them. If you use something like Zoom, you can actually, it has recording built into it. It'll record the entire session. So you're bringing somebody on to do sales for you. You go ahead and you invite them to a Zoom conference. You share your screen and you walk through everything that way. And then at the end, you give them access to that video file so they can go back and read, and listen, rewatch and listen to all your answers and everything you're showing them so that they don't have to keep hitting you up with questions. And then at the same time, even if you do that, you still have to give them time to get used to the systems you've got in place. CRM systems take time to learn. It takes time for people to get in the groove of pitching new products and services. They have to learn those services. They have to know how they function, and they have to go to the resources that you have at their disposal and use them. I send everybody who's new over to the website. I would send, just everyone there and have them go ahead and research the products, and I would quiz them on it. I'd quiz them on these services. I would ask them questions. Make training a part of your day. One of the things I see as a big mistake is you'll see oftentimes the busiest managers are the worst trainers and the best trainers are the laziest managers, because that's kind of natural and logical if you think about it. If you're really busy and active as a manager, having to run around and micromanage everybody, it's probably because you really suck at teaching. And the people need to be micromanaged because they don't know what they're doing, It's not their fault. People don't want to go to work to screw up all day. They screw up because they don't know something. They screw up because you've set up poor systems for them to utilize. People want to function. They want to be educated. They want to know what they're doing, because ultimately, if it's salespeople, they want to make money. No one says, oh, let me go get a sales job so I can waste my time and go into poverty. I absolutely love those EBT cards. Crazy? Of course not. So it's on you to get your salespeople up and running. I happen to be, just through the years as a sales manager, I was the kind of guy that would always have meetings with my salespeople. I would go absolutely the extra mile, because the way I looked at it was, if 10 minutes of my time in a group setting can educate 10 people or 20 people and give them the 10-minute edge, because I'm telling them something, I'm giving them the opportunity to ask questions, I'm returning answers, I'm engaging with them. If that little bit of time gets even one extra sale, it's well worth it. And if it gets a bunch of sales, well, then it's really worth it. So if I were you, I would be meeting with your salespeople, if not daily, at least a couple times a week. I would absolutely have recorded trainings for them, specific to them, where you go and you have a Zoom meeting and walk them through everything and give them access to that. You can put it up on YouTube. You can put it up wherever you want, and showcase your stuff that way. And also, I would have a knowledge base put together. It doesn't have to be some fancy tool. Although if you have something like Freshdesk implemented or something like that, of course, they have knowledge bases in them that you can set up that are pretty fancy, but you could literally just have a document with all the common questions, just at FAQ. Not a searchable knowledge base, but still usable. Give your salespeople the resources, and you will be much more successful. This is all part of recruiting, and the reason I'm calling this recruiting tips is because this is a part of keeping salespeople. It's one thing to be able to have a webinar and get a bunch of people excited and get them to, say they're salespeople for you and go to work. It's another thing to keep those people. Oftentimes, sales forces are like an open sieve. They just churn and churn and churn. The ones that don't churn are the ones where the salespeople are making sales and money. The ones where they're making sales and money are the ones where they're educated and properly trained. Anyhow, that's going to conclude this video. If you want to see more quick tips from Rocket Driver, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring that bell down there to get notified when we drop new vids. We do it all the time. I'll see you in the next video.